Thank you, D.A. Two pretty high-level defensive teams tonight, Doris. Is that due to talent, scheme, or hustle, or what do you attribute it to?
I think, Kevin, you just named the three things that are prerequisites to being a great defensive unit. Number one, you have got to have individual talent that is suited athletically to guard. Number two, you've got to have a great scheme that the coach has put in position. How are you guarding the pick and roll? Do you want a top lock? Do you want to get out and challenge? Are you switching the pick and roll? And a lot of that comes down to, do you want to be great? Are you going to lay it all out there? Are you going to sacrifice your body? All of those things are a necessity.
And checking out Utah's opening lineup, Conley and Mitchell, the talented backcourt pair. Gobert is out there with Bogdanovich. And it's O'Neal in at the 3 slot. And for the Celtics, Walker and Smart, the guard. Tatum out there with Williams. And it's Tice in at the center position.
There is a level of physicality, and the frame of Donovan Mitchell allows him to finish through contact.
Back to Tatum. And slam dunk by Tatum.
I'll tell you, that vertical ability he has puts him in select company in NBA power forwards. May not have great size, but boy, he plays bigger than it.
Now, here is O'Neal. And here's Conley outside. It's rebounded by Tice. And so it's Smart. He'll bring up the ball for Boston. From deep. Good for the basket. Starting off 1-for-1 with that shot.
Never thought I'd say this, but you simply cannot back off Marcus Smart. When you do that, he's going to bury you.
Pass to Gobert. Right side, Conley. Just 5 on the clock. Mitchell kicks to Conley. Over Walker. And it's Conley that time on the assist by Mitchell.
Well, 9 times out of 10, that probably is a miss, but somehow he finds a way.
Walker with it. Conley picks him up. And a miss there on the triple. For Utah, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Mitchell from outside off the mark. Boston's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Walker against Conley. Walker the pass to Tatum. Outside, Smart. And it's Royce O'Neal with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. Outside, Tatum. 5 to shoot. Fires for 3. Bogdanovich grabs the miss. Utah's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. And it's out of bounds. The Celtics will take it the other way. Now we'd like to take this moment to show you the teams that a year ago made a trademark of scoring points off turnovers. 5th on the list, the Celtics.
And they turned all those mistakes into points at the other end. That aggressive style really yielding big dividends.
Walker against Conley. Now the pass to Tice. Walker in the post. Covered by Conley. Williams for 3. Boston. No good that time either. And it's Mitchell with the ball for the Jazz. They trail by 1. Outside, Bogdanovich. Back to Mitchell. There's the 3. That's basket number 2 with his 3rd shot off to a fast 2 for 3.
Boy, the scary potential of Donovan Mitchell overall as a scorer, if it's a consistent 3-point shot in his arsenal, forget about it, guys.
Pass to Tatum. It's stolen by Gobert. Conley surveying the D. And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, Gobert dishes to Mitchell. 6 on the shot clock. The rebound by the Celtics. Last time they met was in Utah, where they beat the Jazz.
And bottom line, they found ways to score. Read the game plan going in. It was right on the money.
And that's not an easy environment to play in. To score at the rate they did on the road says a lot about their intensity and focus.
And so it's Utah here with the ball, following the bucket by the Celtics. It's not going to go for him. And the Celtics going the other way now. And the Celtics rebounding well this summer. From the loss of Kyrie Irving and Al Horford, Kemba Walker possibly a better fit for this team.
And with their young core, understandable that they didn't want to extend Horford out to age 37. A revamped roster, but I think they remain a contender in the East.
And slam dunk by Tatum.
Wow, how about the long arms and the timing of Jason Tatum on the alley-oop? Nice.
Outside Conley. Passes it to Mitchell. Looking to end the run. That's in there. Conley with the assist. And it's 8 points for Donovan Mitchell.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
You know, we see this all the time, Greg. You're basically, as a defender, hoping the man misses rather than putting in the work to get over screens.
Now here's Smart. His last outing, he had 18 points. Back to Walker. Over Conley. Open jump shot off the mark. Utah trailing here. O'Neal passes to Gobert. Mitchell against Smart. Oh, that's blocked. And he recovers it. Nobody near Williams. And he overshot that one, missing. Utah has gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. Back to Conley. Mitchell outside. He dishes it to Gobert. From deep three-point range, Williams with the block. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. And some changes here for the Celtics. Enes Kanter's checked in for Daniel Tice. Semi Ojeleye comes in for Jason Tatum. And Brad Wanamaker subbed in for Kemba Walker. And Utah with a change here, too. Jordan Clarkson, he's checked in for Mike Conley. Now, here's Kanter. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Cavaliers in Cleveland. Here's Wanamaker. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Well, you can tell Kanter uses his size to survey the floor, and he's really good at finding the holes in the defense with his passing.
Here's Bogdanovich. A 23-point game for him in the win against New York.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
And they should, because it's when you start turning down that kind of look that your offense can start to bog down a bit.
Now here's Williams. No points in the game yet for him. Smart with the ball. He's picked up by O'Neal.
What I love about Marcus Smart is every single trip up the floor, this guy is going to be in your grill, and it cannot be a pleasant experience to have this man guarding you.
And that defensive pressure of Smart will wear you down, Doris, over the course of a game.
Kevin, it takes its toll because his combination of athleticism, strength, and motor makes him an absolute monster on the defensive end.
And that one falls for Smart.
Well, I just love how Marcus Smart plays the game of basketball. He's aggressive, he's intelligent, and he doesn't mind getting under your skin.
Joe Ingles, he's checked in for the Jazz. And so, Smart nails both of them.
Very rare for players to be elite defenders from the moment they set foot in the NBA, but that was the case for Marcus Smart. A tremendous physicality to go with a pit bull disposition has made him downright scary at times at that end of the floor.
Now, here's Mitchell. And he just worked New York in that last game. And it's in there. Mitchell's got 10 points.
Well, this quarter has been all about this guy. He is trying to close the gap in the score.
Smart against Mitchell. Pass to Ojale. Here's Wanamaker. Drains it from beyond the arc. Wanamaker's got his second bucket tonight. You know, Greg, defense forgiven for Marcus Smart. The growth necessary for him has been at the offensive end.
And now, finally making progress as a three-point shooter. Had already made strides with his passing. He's becoming quite the two-way player.
Here's Ingles following the three-pointer by Boston. Releases. Ojale grabs the rebound. And here's Boston. They're on a 14-5 run. Williams passes to Cantor. Battles through traffic and lays it in. And now it's a 9-point Celtic lead.
Yeah, there's a physicality and intention to what Enes Kanter does. That's a tough shot.
And the call will be against Brad Wanamaker. That's his first foul. And some changes here for the Celtics. Green comes in for Williams. And Langford subbed in for Smart. Gobert finds Clarkson. Now, here's Mitchell. 10 points for him. 5 on the clock. Another miss by Utah.
Let's give some credit to the defense for how they're guarding this guy right now, because they're refusing to let him get comfortable.
Ojale passes to Wanamaker. Now, Green. Can't extend the lead to double digits. Jazz trail by 9. Mitchell in the corner. Rebounded by the Celtics.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Here's Green, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Doris, there is nothing like opening night in the NBA. Every fan base just teeming with optimism for the upcoming season.
I think all of us are just so thrilled to have NBA basketball back. There's no losses in the losing column. Everybody's happy. Let's tip it off and go.
And guys have that little step, and these first weeks of the season are always exciting.
Oh, no doubt. Everybody's bursting with enthusiasm. Players are fresh. Guys, when you think about the Jazz, you are talking about an elite defensive unit. Rudy Gobert in the middle, the defensive player of the year, and the guys around him are committed to the scheme and outstanding individual defenders.
And so he hits both. And the Jazz very disciplined at the defensive end.
Now, Kevin, you have a veteran squad with the anchor Rudy Gobert, one of the elite shot blockers in the entire league. And this is a group that's so important here. They defend without fouling.
Bogdanovich, no luck.
Pressured that shot by getting a hand up just as good as a block.
And he did it without fouling, and that's become an art, changing shots without making contact.
Defensively, they've got to pick up the intensity. Hard to win surrendering this high a field goal percentage.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Jazz. Well, the book, Greg, is the same for Enes Kanter as it's always been. Great score inside, but his defense leaves you wanting.
And Kevin, at this point, he is who he is. I mean, for better or worse. Kanter is still a force off the bench to give a team some post presence in their second unit, but not sure he'll ever be a player to build around.
Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Tatum, he's checked in for Green, and it's Kemba Walker in for Brad Wanamaker. Outside, Bogdanovich. Knocked loose. Gobert with it. Kanter covering. Gobert can't hit. Last game for Boston, they picked up the W against the Cavaliers in Cleveland. Langford, the pass to Cantor. Now, here's Langford. Ingles covering. There's 45 seconds left here in the opening quarter, and a missed layup. Now Mitchell. 10 points for him. Outside Bogdanovich. Tatum against Mitchell. No good again that time.
Great rim protection to prevent him from converting. Beautiful.
Clarkson surveying the floor. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
Well, Jordan Clarkson, a nice, efficient look there. Boy, that'll help your percentages.
Walker with it. From deep. No good on the last second attempt there. And so it's the Boston Celtics up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. Their defense has been terrific in this game. And don't go away. We'll be right back. Rudy Gobert talks about his expectations for the team.
Every year I want to keep getting better, and people didn't really believe in our team a few years ago. They were kind of laughing at us. When I say I want to win a championship, people are laughing, but I believe that we're going to win a championship.
Well, and as a competitor, this is what you should be thinking, and Greg, you should be talking about winning a title.
For sure. I mean, it'll take a lot of work, but Gobert sounds like he's up for the challenge of proving the doubters wrong.
And so far, through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And a very convincing performance from the Celtics so far.
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
I think across the board, a number of guys have done a great job guarding multiple positions.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the floor for Boston. Tatum and Cantor together down low. Langford out there with Kemba Walker, and it's Ojale in at small forward.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
They throw good, Langford.
And I just watched Romeo Langford. And guys, he looks the part in every way. Big, smooth, great change of direction, and he can flat out score.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, coming into the 2017 draft, Donovan Mitchell wasn't sure he was ready for the NBA. Mitchell said, "I worked out in the summer with Paul George and Chris Paul. They were the ones who convinced me to keep my name in the draft. They said, look, you're good enough. Just go out there and show it." Kevin, through a couple of seasons in Utah, that's exactly what Mitchell has done.
He has made an instant impact on the NBA and the Jazz. DA, thank you. The pass to Niang. Bradley trying to break free. Down he goes. Nice one there from Niang. Niang's got himself on the board with 3 there. Talking about Langford's ability to put up points, he has that popular step-back jumper, Greg, that's so difficult to defend.
Yeah, and you immediately think of James Harden, but a lot of guys use that step back. The one thing Langford does well, he gets to the rim where he can use all that length.
And it's blocked.
Encouraging to see Cantor trying harder on the defensive end. There's height. There's ability to block shots. Go to work, Ennis.
And here's Walker outside. His 4th shot, his 4th miss. Still looking for his touch tonight. Ingles gets to Conley. He can't get it to go. And the Celtics going the other way now. 17 points was their biggest margin. Ojale, and the layup is good. And the Celtics lead by 16.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Here's Clarkson. Another miss by Utah. And Walker's got the ball here for the Celtics. In the second quarter, they've given up just 3 points.
And the city of Boston, 12 championships since 2000, 6 in football, 4 in baseball, and 1 apiece in hockey and basketball.
Greg, you'd have to say Boston has become the sports capital of the country. The fans are knowledgeable, they're passionate, and they are justifiably proud.
Shooting 2.
That free throw, no good. It's interesting, Doris, to see how these NBA players that come into the league looking one way physically and they leave looking another way, they change their bodies over the course of their careers.
Kevin, you talked about this earlier. These players commit to their season over the course of 365 days. Virtually no offseason. Think about the reigning MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who adds 50 pounds of muscle from the time he enters the NBA. Or the other side of the equation, right? A Yusuf Nurkic or a Marc Gasol who drop weight, Kevin, to enhance their quickness and their stamina. These guys are so committed.
They are.
And they are very comfortable running their offense through Walker. And you can see why. Drops a sick dime right there. That pass was right on the money.
Here's Niang. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Hiring college basketball coaches has been kind of hit or miss, Doris. Why do you think that's so?
Well, obviously, coaching in college and coaching in the NBA are drastically different things. As a college coach, you've got to be concerned about the eligibility of your young men. You've got to be recruiting the next crop, even while you're coaching your current group and your current roster. In the NBA, you get to focus exclusively on coaching. You're not talking about recruiting. You're not having to deal with anything other than grown men who have a desire for greatness in the NBA. And I think so much of it doesn't necessarily mean success or failure whether you come from college or not. Success in the NBA is a multifaceted proposition. So I don't necessarily define it as, oh, this guy came from college, this guy came from the European leagues, this guy has been an NBA assistant. So many things go into it, Kev.
Boston making a switch here. Tice is checked in. And so he makes both from the line.
And the playmaking of Joe Ingles, such a valuable asset for the Jazz.
Well, Greg, they've needed more shot creation, and his growth in that regard, especially operating in the pick and roll, such a big lift to their offense.
Shots good by Walker.
Getting it done on both ends, and it shows up in the score.
Well, what I love, Greg, is the energy they're bringing right now. They're ignoring the scoreboard and playing hard.
Now, here's Bradley. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Conley for 3, and Tatum pulls it down. Tatum's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Now, here's Ingles after Romeo Langford's miss. A 3-ball. Joe Ingles, and that's good.
Well, this is the main weapon in Ingles' arsenal, right? Very quietly, one of the elite shooters in the NBA.
And there's the foul. It'll go on Joe Ingles. That's his first foul. Smart's checked in for Boston.
Checking in for your Celtics, Marcus Smart.
Here's Walker, and the whistle blows. It's going to be on Michael Conley. That is his first foul of the game.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
Utah's on defense. It's a 16-point game.
I'll bet even they didn't think the pick would work that well.
No. And they get the major league dunk out of it, too.
And my question is, where was the help? Someone rotate over and challenge.
Now, here's Clarkson. Outside Conley. Down to 5 on the shot clock. But they get it back.
Well, really improving as a defender. Jason Tatum has those long arms to redirect shots.
Here's Ojale. And the 3 off target. For the Utah Jazz, they won their last contest. That game against the Knicks in New York. And stolen by Tatum. Walker against Conley.
Yeah, that one put them over the limit, and it's so early that if they're not careful, this could turn into a parade at the free throw line. Well, you have to give credit to Kemba Walker, who has always found ways to improve his game year after year. Has worked on that shot and tool set enough where he can now be a handful to defend for any guard.
The first one falls. And with Walker, as he has progressed as a player, you know, Greg, so has his leadership.
And Kemba has been a natural leader for so long during his time. When your leader puts in the work that Kemba does, it has to inspire the rest of that roster.
Green, he's checked in for the Celtics. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Bradley. Bogdanovich comes in for George Niang. Royce O'Neal's checked in for Joe Ingles. And Donovan Mitchell subbed in for Mike Conley. Here's Clarkson. Solid shot from the distance of about 14 feet.
Well, pick your poison. Jordan Clarkson is proficient in the pick and roll game, and he's basically saying, what do you want to give me? I'm going to take advantage.
Smart passes to Walker. Stolen by Mitchell. And they're pushing it up. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Did you guys just see that? Listen, Bogdanovich can guard, but shot blocking? Wow.
Ojale is checked in for Boston. Brad Wanamaker comes in for Kemba Walker.
Brad Wanamaker.
Pass to Bogdanovich. Back to Clarkson. Poke loose. Gobert dishes to Mitchell. And the foul on Marcus Smart. That is his first foul of the game. Boston making a switch here. Williams is checked in.
Checking in for your Celtics. Grant Williams.
And here's Gobert. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against New York. And the call will be against Brad Wanamaker. That's foul number 2 for him. Top of the key, Clarkson. Mitchell outside. Clarkson kicks to Bogdanovich. Now, here is O'Neal. Not a lot of room. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And there's the call. Foul on Boston. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Yeah, 76% from the line a season ago. And most would consider that to be a success.
That free throw missing.
And the Celtics looking to bounce back and make another deep playoff run.
And I think, Greg, they certainly have the talent to do it. This is a team that remains on the upswing. They have draft picks and assets. I think they are well positioned for the future.
That's off as well. So he misses both. It was such an honor to be on this with you, and you were the first female to become a full-time NBA analyst, breaking new ground. You've accomplished so much in your life, personally, professionally. What would you tell young women who are graduating college, looking to get ahead in their career in what you've chosen?
Well, first and foremost, I've been very lucky, Kevin. The game of basketball has been a part of my life since I was 7. It's been a driving force. I love it. I would just tell young women, times are changing. Dream big. There's nothing that's impossible. And I'm so thankful to the NBA players and coaches who have just wrapped their arms around me from the time I entered this business. So kudos to those players who are part of the change, no question.
And hard work. I have seen you work. I have seen you prepare. No one prepares more. No one works harder than you.
Thanks, Kev.
Now here's Smart. He has 5. Williams passes to Wanamaker. And he banks in the layup. Wanamaker's got 10 points.
Well, Defensively, to me, you've got to do a better job communicating once the screen comes.
Jazz trail by 20. Mitchell outside. And Bogdanovich kicks to Mitchell. Passes it to Clarkson. Shot clock at 6. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And it seems like Jordan Clarkson may have found his niche, Greg, as instant offense coming off the bench.
A perfect fit for a scoring-minded combo guard. Clarkson able to create his own shot and comfortable pulling from all 3 levels.
First free throw is good. And with the summer's acquisition of Mike Conley, Greg, the Utah Jazz hoping to make a step in the West.
And really, Mike Conley, their best point guard since they traded away Darren Williams back in 2011. Alongside Bogdanovich, a big upgrade offensively, and he can hold his own on the defensive side as well.
He hits both from the stripe.
I think most people consider Salt Lake City not a big free agent destination. So the Jazz are what they call a pipeline team. And what does that mean? It means they have to draft and develop their talent internally.
And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
To a certain extent, you like the aggressiveness, but that's 2 fouls already. Take a step back.
Mitchell passes to Gobert. Dishes it to Bogdanovich. Feeds it to Clarkson. 6 to shoot. Pass to O'Neal. Excellent D there from Williams. And the Jazz say they need a fundamentally sound process to building their roster. Doris, no shortcuts.
Well, there's no question about that, Kevin. This is a group that has to be value-spaced with their free agent acquisitions in a small market. The draft picks have got to be smart. Their teaching and cultivating of that talent and development is absolutely critical.
Now, here's Mitchell. 13 points in the game. And Gobert kicks to Mitchell. Off target from outside.
And I'll tell you, they're going to need more from this guy if they're going to cut into this deficit.
Here's Wanamaker. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
Utah calls timeout.
Well, the Jazz's Quinn Snyder has become one of the most respected head coaches in the league. And think, guys, a player poll even had him ranked 7th among coaches they'd like to play for. And consider he's in Utah. That is not exactly a free agent destination.
Walker's checked in for Brad Wanamaker. And Utah also making a switch. Michael Conley, he's checked in for Jordan Clarkson. Stolen by Smart. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's going to be on Donovan Mitchell.
Well, what phenomenal work deep inside the post. Smart, willing, and able to get himself to the line.
And Doris, what is it, do you think, about Quinn Snyder that gives rise to that respect?
Well, you think about it. He played the game at a high level, of course, collegiately at Duke. He has paid his dues as a coach. He's got tremendous intellect for the game.
Take a break.
And there's this growth mindset with him. He's always looking at himself. How can I get better?
First one falls for him. And so, Smart nails both of them. Doris, you've said this often. It is incredibly difficult to compare guys of different positions in different eras, isn't it?
It really is. There's so many discussions about who's the GOAT, who's the greatest of all potential time. And there are certain names that are always going to pop to the top of the list, LeBron James. But it's very difficult to me, say, to compare a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the greatest to ever man the center position, had the impossible to check sky hook. But how do you compare him with LeBron James, who, though he is, and I don't know what position he is, he may be the greatest passer in the history of the league. Like, let's enjoy individual greatness without comparison.
Here's Mitchell following the bucket by the Celtics. Right side, Bogdanovich. No one near Conley as he lets it go. That fall. Nice feed that time from Bogdanovich.
And that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems to be slacking off a little bit.
Conley against Walker. Over Conley, and it's Boston with another.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
And 1:01 left to play in the first half. Mitchell passes to Conley. A three-pointer off the mark. Boston leading by 20. And the pass to Cannon. Here's Smart. Offline with his three.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
It's deflected. From past the arc. And it's Mitchell missing. And it's Smart with the ball for the Celtics. The Oklahoma City Thunder will be in town for the next one. And that game is the second of two straight at home. Walker against Conley. Just 5 to shoot. Smart wide open. He fires. And he's good on the three ball. Smart's got 10 points.
Growing confidence in his jumper. Smart is rising and firing after the catch of the pass. Nice.
This guy is a pick-your-poison kind of player. Very hard defensively to cover all your bases with him.
And so it's the Boston Celtics sitting on a 21-point lead to end the quarter. They have made it very tough to get a shot off against them. Their defense has been stifling. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Coach Quinn Snyder. Quinn, what concerns you most about the first half?
Well, I think the tempo is in their favor right now. They're fast, and they're getting up and down the floor, so they're running.
Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with out in front of the half is Boston. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny?
There's been one thing that's made a difference in this game above all else. Their control of the backboard. They put forth an amazing effort on the glass, and the rebounding numbers aren't even close, Ernie. That'll be something to keep an eye on in the second half. They will be very tough to contain if that continues.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Utah?
Their field goal percentage reminds me of Kenny's breath. Brutal. Not reading the defense, not getting enough quality looks. They need to make major changes because the system they ran in the first half was not working.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take you down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my main man, Joel.
Joel, what up?
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. Donovan Mitchell really making a difference here.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
And one would expect that the defense made some adjustments at halftime, but he has the ability to answer right back.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Checking out the group for Quinn Snyder to start the second half. Conley runs the point with Mitchell flanking him. O'Neal is out there with Bogdanovich, and it's Gobert in at the 5 down low. Smart passes to Walker. Stolen by Mitchell.
What outstanding defensive anticipation and a poor decision passing.
Conley against Walker. Conley's shot is off. Boston leading by 21. Here's Smart. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker. Walker's got his 8th assist here tonight.
Oh, Kevin, the defense looking completely lost. Marcus Smart just toying with them in the paint.
Now here is Conley. And the foul on Marcus Smart. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Bogdanovich finds Conley. Back to Bogdanovich. Clock at 6. Here's Mitchell.
Well, that's outstanding footwork from Smart on the defensive end. A superb job staying with his man.
Walker against Conley. Walker the pass to Williams. Back to Walker. Lead pass was put in just the right spot. Walker's got 9 points.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
And stolen by Tatum. Oh, Tatum in position. Stolen by Michael Conley. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Well, you've got to credit Mitchell for staying aggressive in that situation and getting the defense to foul him.
And the Utah Jazz, not exactly a magnet for big-name free agents, Greg, but for their young star, Donovan Mitchell, it has been a perfect fit.
You know, they needed a scorer. He's played big minutes from day one and really thrived in that role.
2 shots.
The first free throw is good.
And you ask around, his coaches and teammates love Donovan Mitchell. The way he carries himself, really infectious, upbeat, but also a born competitor.
And Mitchell drops them both. And going into the 2017 draft, Mitchell was a sleeper. Maybe even Greg to himself, he wasn't sure he was ready to make that leap.
And you know, Kevin, it was the NBA players he was working out with in the summertime who told him, man, you're ready right now. And a season that saw him second in Rookie of the Year votes validated that and built his confidence.
And the Jazz with possession here, following the bucket by the Celtics. And a look now at the Boston Celtics' upcoming schedule. On Sunday, they'll be facing Steven Adams and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And then on Tuesday, they'll be taking on Victor Oladipo and the Indiana Pacers.
And looking at the Wizards matchup, it's the second game of a back-to-back, and you know they're going to be feeling the effects of it. Playing that much basketball in that short amount of time really takes a toll.
And he makes the first.
Boy, you have to admire Donovan Mitchell. This guy is capable of playing either guard position, and he plays with so much passion and energy, guys. It's infectious.
And Mitchell drops them both. It's Walker with the ball, bringing it up for the Boston Celtics. He kicks it to Williams. Pass to Tice. Six to shoot. Knocked away from deep three-point range. A rebound by the Jazz.
And when you are as good a shooter as he is, you have the confidence. You have to have the confidence to take that shot. It might not always fall.
And for most guys, I think you only want to take that shot if you've hit a few in a row. That is absolutely a heat check.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And now
Now a look at Jason Tatum. He had a strong showing last season. Last season, he averaged 15 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. And he gives them a nice rotation on the front court. He is a quality reserve.
Well, the one thing you can't teach is size. He's not as developed skill-wise as some guys, but certainly a valuable backup for this team.
And the first one at the line is good. So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe.
And the Celtics, Brad Stevens, one of the youngest head coaches in the league and also one of the more respected.
And Greg, I was surprised that he didn't get any Coach of the Year votes 2 seasons ago. Think about it. The Celtics overcame injury to make the Eastern Conference Finals. Last season, he admitted his most trying in the 12 years as a coach. Boy, he is looking to get them back on track.
Now Gobert, following the miss by Kemba Walker from deep. It's stolen by Tice. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. It's going to be on Donovan Mitchell. The Celtics have shot 9 of 11 at the free throw line.
And when you look at their numbers from a season ago, 80% as a unit, that's something you'll be happy with.
And he knocks down the first one. So he gets them both. A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Conley kicks to Bogdanovich. Conley against Walker. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
Kevin, very hard to stop Bogdanovich. He's excellent at keeping his follow-through despite taking the contact.
Boy, when you talk to his teammates and his coaching staff, Boyan Bogdanovich, one of the toughest guys you'll see in the league. He doesn't say much, kind of stays to himself, but boy, when the ball goes up, does this guy compete.
Mind the lane. 1 shot.
Free throw good, Bogdanovich. And growing up a young child in the violence of Croatia during the Yugoslav wars, Doris, Bogdanovich said it affected everyone.
Not only that, Kevin, but think about it. This is a young man who at 16 years of age left his home on his own to go play pro basketball in Madrid. And what does it translate to? Well, he can now speak 4 languages. I'll tell you this, Bogey knows a thing or two about resiliency.
Gobert can't hit.
And he saw the play develop, but the pass just wasn't there.
It was a really good thought, for sure, but the lob has got to be better than that.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Here is Conley. Jason Tatum picking up that last basket. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
We know this about Donovan Mitchell. This guy shows no fear, even inside. Draws the foul there.
He's had 6 attempts at the line, made 5 of them.
At the line for 2.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Celtics leading by 23. Walker dishes to Tatum. Pass to Tice. Nice ball movement by Boston. Ball's knocked loose. Williams kicks to Tice. 4 on the clock, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Mitchell.
And now a look at Rudy Gobert here. Last season, he played outstanding. First in field goal percentage, third in blocks, and one of the league's most ferocious rebounders, always working. He was top 5 in that category.
And last year, he really was the poster boy for scoring efficiency. You could count on one hand the number of bad shots he took. Bangs home the trifecta.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Tipped away. And pushing it up, here's Boston. Walker leading the charge. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to be on Donovan Mitchell.
And you always know what you're going to get from Walker from the line. He's been a solid, consistent free throw shooter his entire career.
These are his 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
84%. That's what he was able to convert on a season ago from the line.
The first one falls. That one is no good.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
Conley finds Mitchell. Williams with the block. Here's Walker. Pass to Tice. Tatum deciding where to go with it. Shot clock at 6. It's stolen by Gobert. Mitchell with it. Now guarded by Tatum. Mitchell passes to Conley. Inside, Williams with the steal. 4-on-3 break. And here's Walker outside. Drills it from outside. Walker's got 6 points in the quarter.
Well, that's his second 3 of the game. 1 in the first half, 1 here.
Utah calls timeout.
Yeah, I think one thing Coach will address in this timeout right now is you're missing a lot of shots. Why not become more of a facilitator out there?
Dennis Canner's checked in for Boston. Utah also making some changes. George Niang, he's checked in for Bogdanovich. Joe Ingles comes in for O'Neal. And it's Jordan Clarkson in for Mike Conley. Now, here's Clarkson. He's got 6. And it's Mitchell missing.
I'll tell you, this has not been his game, and he's making it worse with shot selection like that.
Here's Williams. Utah with the rebound. Gobert's got rebound number 8 now on the night. To the inside, Niang. Whistle blows, basket is good. So a chance here for a 3-point play.
Yeah, outstanding job there of taking the harm and still able to finish.
This is his second trip to the free throw line.
And last season's numbers show him at about an 83% clip, which is far better than most.
1 shot.
Yeah, and the work they've done at the line has been impressive here in the second half.
And Walker's got the ball here for the Celtics. To the middle. Here's Smart. And oh, that was close. He draws the foul. He'll shoot 2. It's going to be on Donovan Mitchell.
Well, how smart is Marcus Smart using his body? He's such a physical guard, seeks out contact. Nice.
Smart will be at the line shooting 2.
That one is off. So he comes up empty, missing both. Jazz have gone 2 of 7 from the field in the third. That leaves room for improvements here.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
Walker's shot is off.
And you know, you can't impact a shot that close any better than he did on that possession.
Boy, whether he blocks it or simply alters it, the result is pretty much the same.
Now, here's Ingles. 6 on the shot clock. Gobert with it. Now guarded by Smart. With the fadeaway. The Jazz with another miss.
Well, the defense clearly was not interested in guarding him from downtown. They're very fortunate he missed.
Boston again missing. Utah's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Clarkson passes to Mitchell. Now Ingles, guarded by Smart. Niang kicks to Mitchell. Over Smart. Mitchell's shot is good. Mitchell's got 9 points in the quarter.
I'll tell you cannot fault the defensive effort. Donovan Mitchell is just so good at keeping his concentration through a great contest.
Nice shot by Smart.
You can see it. Once this guy gets his rhythm, he is so hard to slow down. What an excellent night for him and his team.
Utah shooting only 32% from the field. Plenty of signs of struggle by this offense today. Niang passes to Clarkson. Stolen by Walker. And Tatum with a clear path to the hoop. And slam dunk by Tatum.
Well, do not let Jason Tatum get space in transition. He will make you pay.
Clarkson against Walker. Here's Clarkson. 6 points for him. Here's Mitchell. Here's Gobert. And slam dunk by Gobert.
You know that old expression, you can't teach size, but Gobert showing great effort as well. I love that he creates second chance opportunities.
And now the first timeout called here for Boston.
Interesting story about Rudy Gobert. He was an excellent student in high school, but he was getting into physical fights. So what does his mom do? Play sports, my son. Track and field, martial arts, even ping pong. What I love, though, is he has not lost that tough disposition.
Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Green, he's checked in for Jason Tatum. Jimmy Ojeleye comes in for Williams. Langford's checked in for Marcus Smart. And Brad Wanamaker subbed in for Kemba Walker. Conley gets the bucket. Conley's got his third basket of the night right there. And Doris especially at that center position. You know, GMs like a player with a fighting spirit.
Rudy Gobert plays with a chip on his shoulder and a competitive spirit. A lot of 7-footers, Kevin, play the game simply because of their size. Rudy Gobert wants to be great.
Now, here's Clarkson. And 2 free throws coming up as the whistle blows. He barely missed that one.
That's his first personal.
The one thing with Clarkson, sometimes he can get a little out of control, and he does a tremendous job creating offense and putting himself in a position to attack.
Occupying that instant offense role, Doris, Jordan Clarkson able to get his shot anytime.
No doubt, Kevin. He's a little bit of a streaky scorer. The challenge is on the defensive end. That's where he has to really improve if he's going to stay on the floor and impact winning.
Free throw good, Clarkson. And both free throws good for Clarkson. Celtics leading by 23. Wanamaker the pass to Langford. Celtics passing it around. Outside, Green. And there's the pass to Wanamaker. Again, the miss by the Celtics. Conley kicks to O'Neal. Back to Conley. 1:30 left here in the third quarter. That shot, no good. Excellent D from Cantor. Boston's gone a less than productive 2 of 6 from three-point land in the second half. Langford, that 3 off the mark. Utah's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. It's stolen by Bradley. Clarkson on the wing. He's covered by Cantor. Here's Bradley. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Bradley's got his first 2 points of the night.
And looking a lot better now, but still a long way to go to get back into this one.
Yeah, but this run started with tighter execution at both ends, and that'll need to be maintained for them to have a chance to take the lead.
Now here's Green after Enes Kanter's miss. Buries the long-range jumper.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it, Greg? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
Greg, some folks suspected Conley might be moved when Memphis had a shot at drafting John Morant right before the draft that deal took place.
I tell you what, he looks to be a great fit in Utah. Can be that third star the team needs to push them to the next level. Utah had to give up a fair sum to get him, but it was worth the risk.
That's good from Conley.
And already over a decade in the league for Mike Conley, he never got past the numbers game to make the All-Star team in the crowded Western Conference, but make no mistake about it, Conley is star caliber.
Tatum, he's checked in for Green. George Niang, he's checked in for the Jazz. And so Mike Conley nails both of them.
Still a solid point guard in this league. When Conley is healthy, he makes a considerable impact on both ends.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Pass to Wanamaker. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Michael Conley picks one up.
Brad Wanamaker.
First free throw is good. He's perfect from the line this time. Utah's gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. And pushing it up, here's Boston. Outside Tatum. Shoots over Clarkson. Drops one in from the wing. And it's 13 points for Jason Tatum.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
And so it's the Boston Celtics, ahead by 26 points as we get ready for the break. And they've created a bunch of turnovers with that terrific D. And we'll be right back after this. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
And, you know, you can always count on him for at least a couple of these pretty assists over the course of a game. And this one, a thing of beauty.
Well, GA, you know a thing or two about a point guard's job. Set the table for your teammates. Done there perfectly.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Tatum and Cantor together down low. Kemba Walker is out there with Langford. And it's Williams at the 3 spot. That's the Boston 5. And it's out of bounds. Utah able to retain possession here. Conley against Walker. Shot clock at 6. Unloads. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. And for the Celtics, they're shooting an efficient 53% from the field. Langford has the open look. Good. And it's Williams who picks up the assist. Williams has got 5 assists in the game. Now here is Conley. Got a piece of it. Here's Walker. Plays it up off the glass.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
Greg, to me, this has simply stated been a complete lack of defensive attention and focus all night long.
Here's Bradley. Kemba Walker making his last shot. Lays it in off the breakaway.
Yes, smart heads-up defense by Walker, setting up the break. He's so good at coming up with those steals without putting himself or his team at risk.
Now, here's Clarkson. Shot to stop the run. Rebound, Boston. Cantor's got 11 rebounds in the game. Back to Williams. Yep, it counts.
What I like here, even with the big lead, they continue to execute their offense.
And that, to me, Greg, is a sign of excellent coaching. There's an attention to detail. There is valuing of every possession.
Here's Walker. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
We're seeing some great shooters with length, tall players shooting from outside. That seems to be the rage right now, but when you look in your crystal ball, Doris, what might be the next player trend in the NBA?
So we saw the evolution of big men as three-point shooters, men being able to enter the league as sort of back to the basket, consistent rebounding forces out of the post, now stepping away and becoming threats as face-up scorers. To me, one of the most intriguing young players in the league right now is Nikola Jokic. Here's a 7-foot guy who is a tremendous playmaker. His instinct is to pass more than it is to score. So you wonder, is that the next evolution of big men? And then the other thing, Kevin, you are starting to see offensive rebounding went away as a focal point of teams in the NBA. You are starting to see teams go back after the offensive glass. Does that continue?
Second chance is a big statistic, isn't it?
It is.
Now, here's Clarkson. Outside Conley to stop the run. The Jazz again can't hit it.
Well, after hitting one triple in the first half, it's been all radio silence since.
Langford dishes to Walker. Cantor, the pass to Williams. Buries it from three-point range. Williams has got 5 points in the quarter.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Passes to Bradley. The Jazz working the ball around now. And they pick up 2. 11 points for Mike Conley.
And with that bucket, he ceases a 14-0 run by Boston.
Walker the pass to Williams. Of course, it seems like Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, is one of the most well-liked commissioners in all of sports worldwide. Why do you think that's so?
Well, I think he was amongst the most important members of the staff of his predecessor, David Stern, who obviously oversaw the greatest growth in NBA history. The NBA became a global game. But Adam Silver didn't skip a beat. He is a great listener, a great communicator, and I've said this about the NBA for a very long time. It is a league that is in constant self-evaluation process. It is always looking for ways to improve the league, whether that means organizationally or with the play between the lines, and that's all you can ask for, Kevin.
Conley with it, now defended by Langford. Conley dishes to Bradley. Shot clock at 5. Here's Clarkson. Bradley trying to break free.
they've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive. I'll tell you, right now, these guys cannot be stopped.
Boy, it looks like their confidence is at an all-time high, just feeding off each other right now. What a brutal night for this guy, and it is having a ripple effect throughout the team. This is tough.
Walker against Conley. On the wing, Ingles. Kicks it to Clarkson. That's tipped. Now Langford from 12 feet out. Hits the front of the rim and out. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
Guys, you talk about players coming in and with a huge impact. Jason Tatum showed he was more than ready to be an NBA star.
Rare do you see a player as polished and as impactful as Tatum. Stepped right in to be one of the top players on a top team with Boston. Fits their system perfectly, and really the sky is the limit for that young man.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw good. Clarkson. Doris, you and I are faced with this a lot, voting for the MVP. Great stats versus winning. Where do you stand on that when you vote for the league MVP?
Well, winning could be the definitive line if I have 2 candidates who are close. For instance, for me, this last MVP came down to James Harden and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I took it to the last possible moment. And I could have gone in either direction and been comfortable. Ultimately, I went with Giannis, and the deciding factor came down to he led his team to the best record in the league. It was a difficult vote, but ultimately it's one category which helps tilt me in one direction or another.
And I did too, and what also helped me was just the improvement defensively they had made, and I know Antetokounmpo was a very big part of it.
No, it's a great point. He was a two-way force.
That's in there. Conley with the assist.
Well, you've got to be able to be locked and loaded when an opportunity comes to make a shot. And Jordan Clarkson, yeah, he's pretty good at that.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Michael Conley. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
Fouling like that isn't how you get back in the game.
And the Celtics making a change here. Ojeley's checked in. Then for the Jazz, Gobert, he's checked in for Bradley. Bogdanovich comes in for Joe Ingles. And it's Mitchell in for Mike Conley. Now here's Smart. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's going to be on Rudy Gobert.
It's the size of Cantor that makes him a tough matchup, right? He is so good at finding space inside and forcing the defense to foul him.
That's good from Cantor. Of course, in basketball, like many sports, you can call some kind of penalty on almost every play. So with that in mind, where do we draw that line?
I would say that most coaches and most players would say as long as there's consistency with officiating, they can adapt to the way the game is being called. As fans, as broadcasters, what we want to see the game remain free-flowing, fluid, pretty, the ability to move and cut and not be impeded in your progress. That's what I want to see.
And we see that most nights.
No doubt.
The feed now to Tatum. And slam dunk by Tatum.
Guys, this guy is a natural-born scorer. Jason Tatum finding his groove.
Clarkson against Smart. Knocks it loose. Two free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's going to go on Boyan Bogdanovich.
At the line for the Celtics, Marcus Smart. The other line shooting 2.
shots. Relax on the first.
And that one falls for Smart. Daniel Tice is checked in for Cantor. That misses, so he splits the free throws. Remember the time, Doris, when it was rare to see stars changing teams? Now we read about it every day.
No question, Kevin. Think back to my formative years watching the NBA as a fan. Larry Bird was a Boston Celtic. Magic Johnson was a Los Angeles Laker. The trend in today's NBA is that shorter player contracts, more player control over where they want to be. And the reality is this, Kevin, at some point, free agency entered the equation. It's appropriate, it's fair, they've earned the right to choose where they play.
Now here's Smart over Mitchell. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
All by himself, trying to step up. He's got to be frustrated with the miss.
And the foul on Marcus Smart. That will be foul number 5 on him.
And that's going to be his 5th, guys. One more and he's done.
Walker's checked in for the Celtics. Joe Ingles, he's checked in for the Jazz. Gobert finds Ingles. 5 to shoot. And Semi Ojeleye picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul.
Now here's Gobert, defended by Tice. Clock at 6. The Jazz need to get off a shot here. And that one good from Clarkson.
Well, Rudy Gobert stands 7'1", and he's an unselfish guy. It puts the pass on the money.
Pass to Tice. Now the dish to Walker. That's tipped. Ojeleye passes to Smart. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Because of Rudy Gobert's thin frame, people were trying to take advantage of him early physically in his career. For the Jazz, they wanted him to get stronger, get in the weight room, and become more of a problem.
2 shots. Relax on the first.
And he knocks down the first one. And for 7-footers like Gobert, it seems, Doris, there's more risk of injury.
Well, everything the Jazz organization has done with Rudy has focused from the core down. They want to make sure their big man has functional strength that eases pressure on the knees and ankles. Both of those areas have been so problematic for guys his size.
Both shots good from the stripe. Doris, do you have high hopes for the new draft lottery system to keep every team competitive to the very end of the season?
Well, one of the keys in implementing this new draft lottery system was to make sure that the bottom 3 teams were given equal opportunity to get that top draft choice. I think you did see it have some effect on play and teams trying to be competitive while understanding they're still going to have an opportunity to build their team through the draft. But here's the reality. The NBA has got to be under review constantly. There's a process in play. It's one of the most proactive leagues in the country in terms of always looking for little things to make sure their game is the best it can be.
Attention to detail. Well said. Walker the pass to Tatum. Over Bogdanovich. Boston again missing.
Listen, he knows he should have made that shot. We'll see if they can work it back to him in that same area.
Ingles kicks to Clarkson. To the paint. Here's Gobert. And slam dunk by Gobert.
Boy, that is just too easy. As Gobert gets this close, forget about it.
Oh, he's going up for the alley-oop here. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
Chemistry at its best. An unreal alley-oop.
You're right. The pass, the catch, the dunk, all of it perfect. Mitchell finds Gobert. Poked away. In the corner, it's Clarkson. And again, it's the Jazz from deep.
Well, the one thing about Clarkson, a little bit inconsistent from deep, so that's a welcome sight for his team.
Feeds to Smart. The shot, no good. The Jazz go the other way with it. Walker against Mitchell. Of course, here's something kind of interesting. There's been a lot of talk about moving the draft to after free agency. What would that look like?
Well, I think talent is always going to be at a premium. So I would think if there's a guy that's the absolute definitive #1 pick, he's going #1 regardless of roster construction. But the reality is it might help those teams who maybe if they know who's on the roster, it might change the kind of draft selection they would make. So it's an interesting supposition. We'll see if the NBA moves in that direction.
Here's Gobert. Marcus Smart picking up that last basket. And Kemba Walker is going to pick up the foul. That's his third foul of the game. Royce O'Neal's checked in for the Jazz. Mike Conley comes in for Jordan Clarkson. 1:37 left in the fourth quarter. Offensive rebound. Gobert dishes to Mitchell. Gobert trying to get open, and it's Mitchell missing. Boston's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc since the final quarter's gotten underway.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Celtics.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
A 2-game season series. They win them both and complete the sweep.
And as one might have guessed coming into this game, it was indeed another big game tonight for Kemba Walker.
A big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving, finding guys when they would flash open.
Now here is Conley. He dishes it to Mitchell. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good.
Well, the balance, the ability to take contact, absorb it, and still finish. That is beautifully done by Donovan Mitchell.
Walker against Conley. Walker taking his time here. And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. So long.